My hair looks a mess right now. Yeah. I got the day wrong, my interview. So I was up earlier, making sure that my stuff had all been uploaded and, that my resume was in there and that I had my resume alternatively copied and pasted on my phone. And a bunch of other stuff, and I was just making sure that I was super prepared, and then I was like, oh, wrong day. Munchkin is not up yet. He should be out for another hour. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah. I think I'm gonna lay back down. Maybe read for another hour or half an hour and then start breakfast. Yeah, that sounds about right. But it's kind of funny. Because I thought that... And then I checked the date this morning. And I was like, oh, well, okay. That works. In all fairness, the guy on the phone said the 27th. So I was going off what was said. And I forgot to check the actual email. So I got my email confirmation and I was looking at it. I was like, oh, tomorrow. Okay. And this is after, I'd gone through making sure that everything was good. And, because I won't be able to go online while I'm on the phone. And of course, because of the service that I have. So we're using our hotspots right now. And with the deal that just came up, we're probably going to continue to use our hotspots now. But we'll just have more data. Because they're offering more now. And yeah. So I'll be able to do all the stuff that I need to do. But I won't be able to get online while I'm on the phone. So yeah. I made sure that I have all that. So at least tomorrow, I'll just be able to get up, do my hair and all that, and then sit for a phone interview. Yeah, my hair is a mess, like an epic mess. Can it be tamed? Anyway, yeah. So, yeah. Usually whenever people are called out online, I guess I'm going to talk about this now. Because I just got a notification from them, like just now. Usually whenever people are called out online and proven they don't continue things, this person is, and it's really super annoying. And I'm just like, why am I getting notifications about this at like really early in the morning? And why are you continuing this? I mean, the flaws in logic have been pointed out. You're a liar. You change your story. You contradict yourself. You remove stuff that you say that's horribly offensive and blatantly meant to be. And I don't do that SJW crap. You insult me or attempt to attack me verbally, and I'm not just going to take that shit. And I'm going to point out your flaws in logic. Like, she tries to make it sound like it was a sentence. She took out more than a sentence. And, like, at first she was like, all I did was change the spelling and grammar. And then I'm like, no, you took out stuff that changed the meanings. And now you're trying to. And she's, like, continued this. Like, she thinks someone on the internet is going to read only the last one or two things that she's done and not read the rest, and then take her side, and then she's just going to win by a sweeping landslide. I don't know why this is about winning to her. I don't know. And I just kind of want her to stop. Like, you started a fight on the internet and now you're getting mad that you're losing. Dude, stop. You have no rational basis for this. And now she's telling me that, oh, I'm one of those people on the internet because she changed one little detail in her story and now she's a liar. And I'm like, well, both on the internet and in person, this is generally true. I forgot a detail, and I'm gonna put this in now. Oh yeah, I forgot this detail. That's normal, and doesn't mean that you're a liar. Then there's, oh, all I did was change spelling. Oh, well, I took out some words, and I added some words, and, which one of these is true? Especially whenever you're saying, I only did this, and then you're like, oh, well, then I did this, whenever you're continued to be called out. This is like whenever Chris is lying to me, and I give him this look, and he's like, and I'm like, Chris, don't you lie to me. And he gives you this look. Christopher Allen? Yes, Mom? Tell me the truth. And this will go one of two ways. Either he will try to insist that he is telling me the truth, and I will point out logically that this is fallacy, and how he's been caught. And, well, not always, all of how. Of course, I need my tricks. I don't want him to, learn to adjust to too many different things. And, as far as lying goes. And, yeah. Generally speaking, even Chris handles being caught in a lie better than this lady. Or guy. I didn't check, and I don't honestly care. Like, they literally just... I stated a theory in a YouTube comment based on personal experience and observation, and she, like, just attacked it. But, like, it was more of an attack on me than my theory. And then she, like, took out the personal attack stuff, but then tried to invalidate my response to the personal attack stuff. And she's just continued to do so. Like, this whole thing, he, she, whatever, has just continued to do this stuff. And continue it. On. And on. And on. And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? Stop. This is one of those people that just wants the final fucking word. The only question is, do I let them have it? And where is a good place to let them have it? Because I'm not letting this come back on me as something bad. Just because there's some bitchy-ass person on the internet. There's lots of bitchy-ass persons on the internet. And sometimes I can even be one of them. But in this case, this is an exchange where I'm just like, wow. And I mean that in every sense of wow. You know, like that woman language wow. That's what's happening here. Wow, with capital letters. I don't even normally use those. Those are just like a commonly accepted denominator where a bunch of people got together and tried to decipher catty ass bitches and decided all women had to talk like this. The only reason why any woman talks like that is because we are told not to just come out and say it. We're not supposed to hurt people's feelings, and we're a bitch if we do. Or if we just are straight with you. It's a different way that society like projects on women. It's not because we're inherently wired different in that respect. It's just a bunch of bullshit. And we can be self-aware about that and not use it, but for this purpose, I feel like, wow. There's just... guys can use it in this context too. Like, I cannot believe that this person is so incredibly stupid and thinks that I should be so incredibly stupid. Like, her very arguments are an insult to my intelligence. Or his. I don't know. I keep on saying her and she because I expect this kind of shit from a really immature female. But it can happen with guys too. So, like, I don't know, I'm just trying to step back from it and, like, not. But I can't because this is me. Oh, where's my brush? Giant purse? You're gonna make me work for it, aren't you? Tissue bag. I have a tissue bag, yes. I have allergies too. Oh, this is gonna suck. It's probably downstairs. No. Downstairs. Anyway, I need to traverse the winding road. Nah, I just need to go downstairs. So anyway, I need to actually go make myself look like a human being. Still not going for makeup. I don't wear a mask. But if you do, that's fine. It's always felt kind of gunky to me. And even whenever I was younger and I actually wore makeup, it was kind of a pain in the ass. Like, why would I want to dump that much time in a day on something I don't even like? Pretty much. Yeah. Like, it has no purpose. Except to make my face look different. And I don't really like my face either way, so I think I'll just accept it the way that it is. And I've actually seen people become so disassociated from their own face because they wear makeup so much. And I read some stuff on it, and yeah. I'm that weird person, female thing, that makes decisions based on medical studies and logic and not what society tells me to do. And that's actually kind of rare for guys too, so The stereotype that guys are more logical than women is not actually true, by the way. There's actually a lot to point in that it really just doesn't matter. um, yeah. And all my fantasies about like going to Scotland just got like shattered. It's apparently, it's subject to the UK, and the UK is a pile of crap. Like, it's no wonder people leave. You need a fucking license to watch television. And they've actually invented something that detects TVs. And, like, people are using these as, like, computer monitors and shit. Like, they're finding workarounds to do this so that they don't have to go out and spend a bunch of money on them. And they're ending up with these letters threatening them over the possibility that they might be watching BBC or something. And this is just ridiculous. I'm just like, wow, I never want to go there. Now, like, this is a thing, I just want to get as far away from that as possible. But also, like, this country has its problems. Some pretty big ones. And some of them are the same, in that we are told we are free, and in plenty of ways we're really not. Our government is constantly trying to find new ways to micromanage and control us. Probably aren't that far off from... Nah, they'd actually be more likely to try and use TV to control people. But yeah. They're like, yeah, you need a license to use a TV as a TV. What? I can't even. I mean, we have one, but we rarely ever use it. And if we use it, it's usually for like the Xbox or something. Getting news online is more accurate if you know where to go. And TV in Arizona can get crazy. Like, they've advertised adoption through foster care as a reason to get into foster care. The stuff that goes on TV in Arizona is insane. Arizona is one of the worst states as far as some of this stuff goes. So the fact that they're so unrepentant about it and even expect you to be okay with it, they're just... It's there, like, on the TV. And meanwhile, there are people across the country going, oh my god, how did this happen? About, like, what happened to the immigrants. And I'm like, well, they do it to citizens. And they actually take more kids from citizens than were affected by this. And I feel like nobody's listening to me. Arizona is really bad. They don't actually care if there's a reason to take a kid. Some individual workers care, but as a whole, no. It's become part of like a corrupt culture among like politicians and rich people that the children of anyone who is below a certain income, even if they have everything and nowhere to go if they need help, and just nobody's really lacking anything because they know how to supplement and get help, they will still come after your kids Just, and the reasons will amount to because you're poor, because you have a mental health diagnosis, and other things that amount to discrimination. And aren't reasons to take people's kids, let alone keep them. And there are instances where, and this is not actually as uncommon as I would like to be able to say that it is, it's actually pretty common, where kids will get taken, there will not be a warrant, and the judge will say, oh, it's substantiated because they physically have the kids. Not because anything happened, it's literally just substantiated because they have the kids. That's actually not a basis for substantiation. But, yeah. There's problems with records being altered after the fact. I don't know if this happened with me and my kids. But I do know that it's happened to other people. And they can actually pull up the paperwork, the original paperwork, and they can show it against what's been altered. Otherwise, you don't know. Because there are people who will try and use the fact that this happens to people to say, hey, my stuff fits this too. And they're actually kind of lying, so. The thing of it is that the people who actually do stuff usually get their kids back. Because people don't want the kids who are going to be hard to handle. And kids who have been abused they have emotional challenges. Like Chris. And that's the thing, a lot of kids end up having some kind of emotional challenge because this is actually pretty traumatic. This is pretty damn traumatic, and there's a lot of abuse that happens in care. I can't talk about this right now. I worry a lot, mostly because I lived it, and it sucked. And then excuses, and suddenly my kids, they were entitled to my kids for funding and shit, and they weren't actually entitled to my kids. They were just acting like this, and then nobody stopped them. And I couldn't. I tried. And I want my kids home and safe. Home is where they would be safe. And you should never be unsafe home. Home should be safe and where there's lots of love. And yeah, you may not always be happy with one another, but you know. Like, I know Chris is mad at me whenever I tell him no. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I've talked about it all pretty extensively, so it's probably pretty pointless to talk about it anywhere here. Anyway, I hate liars. I have a very good reason to hate liars. A lot of them, actually. Probably wouldn't hate them so much if I wasn't so subject to them as a kid. Or earlier adulthood, whenever I was young. Some people would still call me young, but I didn't even feel young when I was young. And I look younger than I am. And you know what? As I get older, I'm probably going to look even more younger than I am. Here's the thing. I don't wear makeup. You want to know why my grandmother did not look like she was as old as she was? She didn't fucking wear makeup. I know, right? I don't like to think about any similarity between us. I don't make my decisions based on that, and I refuse to. If I did, I would, not do a bunch of things that I actually want to do, simply because she did them. My grandmother was not a stupid woman, but she was pretty damn evil. My mom was awesome, though. Beautiful. She was one of those people you imagine the world at their feet. It really wasn't. But you imagine it that way. When I had the boys, both times, I was both the happiest I'd ever been and sad. Because it will always hurt that my mom never got to meet my kids. I think she would have loved them. She's dead, so... she will never meet them. And there are countless other people who end up in similar situations, where it all amounts to, this isn't even legal, but we're going to say it is, have a judge officiate it, and you can't stop us. Because who's going to stop us? This is why I became an advocate. It hasn't brought my kids home. But it stopped some other kids from going through it. Once rights have been severed in Arizona, people don't want to touch it. Legally, ours qualifies. Because of the amount of crap that was done, we qualify. But no lawyer wants to touch it, and I don't have the money to pay someone to care and fly them in. I don't have the money to do either one. Even if... Let me put it this way. A middle-class family can end up in debt with no house, no nothing, just from the money that goes into that. If you already don't have that, even if you are utter poverty, that's the thing. You don't have the money to pay pay someone to care. And people cannot be trusted to care simply for morality. Actually, this lady who's arguing that I am in the wrong because I don't believe her when she's obviously lying reminds me a lot of a social worker. Lady or guy. Because that's how social workers will talk to you. Like, I've contradicted myself 5 times. The entire story has been contradicted at least twice. You can't call me a liar, or else you're the problem. Like, there's no detail that has been left uncontradicted, and I'm supposed to be at fault for calling you out on this. You're a fucking liar. Like, you're full of shit. Yeah, typically people just sort of try not to bring attention to it, but this lady is throwing a fit. Anyway, I need to go make breakfast. For, for the small army I live with. No, there's no army. Just, Jean's already gone off to work, and Munchkin kind of still eats like one on his own, so yeah. Carissa. I miss Rowan and Rohan very much. I wonder how much they know, how much they don't know, how much they've been lied to, how much they haven't. Do they know that their names literally derived from how much I love them? How much they mean to me? Do they have any idea the significance of the names? And that they're both named for trees that are believed to, in different areas, possibly be the tree of life. Or something like it. And do they know that their middle names are important? That the way Artemis is spelled for Rowan means a gift from the goddess. Can mean several, you can say it several different ways. A gift from the goddess. A gift from the goddess Artemis, child of the moon. Same difference. Those are different translations for how it can be said. But basically it means a gift from the goddess. That I'm literally calling him a gift from the goddess, okay? This is what his middle name means. And why it is spelled with a U before the S instead of an I. And there's a reason for that. If you spell it with an I, exactly, it means it's different, and it's actually pretty disrespectful, both to whatever deity you're using in that and the person. It's like you're saying, I want you to live up to this, and not just be you. So, he's named for being blessed for, not named after. He is blessed. It is more an honor thing than anything else, and culturally that is more appropriate than any way people might actually understand it without context. Rohan Eros. blessed by the God of love. Child of love. I didn't name my boys without great thought and love and without them. You carry an aching chasm inside always whenever you're missing your kids. Worrying about them. It never stops. No matter what you do, what you're doing at the time, there's always something inside you screaming.